What's up? What's up? What's up? Ooh, it's the motherfucking season finale. Ooh, y'all, 6 episodes. We have done 6 episodes. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it because we put the work in for it.
It just happened so fast. I don't feel like it's been 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 episodes, 6 weeks.
Right. But it's not the end, y'all. It's just the season finale, okay?
It's actually just
not.
Hey, Sharon.
Oh. Hey, Sharon. Oh, you better be tuned into the season finale, girl.
It's in 6 episodes. I can't believe it. Yay.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Welcome to the party.
So I wanna ask y'all, what has been your favorite episode so far? Of this season.
I mean, we haven't done this episode yet, but okay.
Okay, so far.
Hold on now. I wasn't expecting that question.
I wasn't either.
Look, I gotta go back and think about it.
Cause look, I'm gonna tell y'all. So I want to tell y'all my favorite from the both of y'all. So I love Tracy when you talked about you're successfully single. I love that, like the way you was talking about, like I think it's like dope. It's like a superpower or some shit. How you were able to separate emotions from sex. So I really love, what was that, episode 3? Jaleisha, my favorite of yours has been definitely last week's, setting those boundaries and protecting your energy. So I feel like we've had a lot of good topics. I love the feedback we've gotten, because in the feedback we've gotten has confirmed that we are giving what we're set out to give. It's giving what it's supposed to give.
As the kids be saying.
We're giving what it needs to give. We're giving. And I think we've talked about this. I think like it's been flowing even better as we've progressed. In these episodes, I feel like we were coming into like really comfort zone, like feeling good with each other and our personalities and just meshing and vibing, and it's been really natural. But I guess I'll choose my favorite of your guys. So I did love Tracy's. Well, she only had one episode.
Tracy's closing us out. Tracy is season finale, honey. So.
Yes. So I'm gonna say I like this episode, Tracy, because I think this is gonna be really, really amazing what you're gonna tell us, and I'm so excited to hear about it because I think it's gonna be amazing. So I'll say this episode is my favorite of yours, and then T, for you, it will be Bitch, I'm Me. I love that because you had so many good tips and so many good, just resources, and people need to remind themselves that bitch, I'm me. Like, I'm authentic. I am who I am. Take it or leave it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I love. What about you, Tracy?
My favorite. I don't necessarily think I have a favorite per se, because everyone is my favorite, and I think I've been watching the episodes back too analytically.
Yeah.
So right now, my brain can't even go there because I'm only thinking about Tonight Show.
Correct. Okay.
Every show has been so fun to me, especially our first one. Our first one for sure was one of my favorites. Just because the energy, even though the energy continues to be the same, but that was the first, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that was super exciting when I think about just the level of excitement I had, and just bringing that excitement all throughout the last 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First one was our baby. We were getting our cherry popped on the first one. So that was good.
Right.
Well, nowadays too, shit.
Okay. So, look, what's up, y'all? I'm Coach T-Lane. Why we always do that? Like, we always talking like, why I don't ever do it in the damn beginning. But it's our show. We can do the shit how we want to do it. What's up? What's up, y'all? I'm Coach T-Lane. These are my co-hosts, Coach Jaleisha J, Tracy Cherie, and we are Girls Be Like the podcast. We ain't here to get nobody the right answers. We are just speaking from our personal experiences. So, look, ladies, I do want to ask you, how has your day been?
Oh, my day has been amazing. It's been amazing. As y'all know, I was laid off from a job since we've actually started the podcast, right? So I've been laid off from a job since we started the podcast. And I've actually be starting a new job next Monday. So today I just got my equipment and stuff like that. Got to set up my new laptop and all that good shit. So I'm feeling real good. I went and got my nails done. It's just been a real chill day. I went to a grocery store. It's productive. Got a few things done. So I'm just on cloud nine today, y'all. I'm just feeling really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you're gonna get more into that new gig, so we'll save our excitement.
Yes, ma'am.
Later. Like, yeah, what's been going on with you today?
I was like, she got a lot to tell us, y'all. So, which I'm excited about. It's been good. I mean, I had to work today, so it's during the week, so I had to work. But I've been kind of like, I did like 4 miles walking, and so I'm really into like nature right now. I'm like being present out. Let me look at the butterflies and the trees. So it was really good. I was getting my earth vibe on. So I'm chilling. I'm in a good vibe. So cool. How you feeling, T?
I'm in that peaceful vibe right with y'all today. I had to speak at a high school today with the girls, and the topic was just phenomenal. I was teaching them how to create new habits, get rid of bad habits, create new habits, get rid of the old version of themselves and create the new version. And like it was a reminder for me, because as we grow through life, there's going to be, as we evolve, like still parts of us that need to die off, that we need to let go. And just reminding them that, you know, it sometimes it can feel like a grieving process as you becoming a new person and letting that old you die off. And, you know, just seeing the girls come to tears, it was good. It made me feel like, okay, I'm hitting points that I need to be hitting. It's giving what it's supposed to be given. That's the slate. Look, we need to be like, every time you hear that tonight, take a sip. All right. It's giving what it's supposed to be given. Okay. I'm gonna sip my detox tea.
I don't want to be ghetto on here. I got my big gallon.
Girl, take it.
Okay.
Because it's giving what it's supposed to be given. But no, so yeah, today's been a very good day, and it's been a very chill, peaceful day. That energy, I think, is good for tonight's topic, which Tracy is delivering our topic tonight. Tracy, I'm gonna go ahead and just turn the floor over to you, sis.
Yeah. So y'all, tonight what we're gonna talk about is just a little bit about taking the leap of faith. So I want to think about it in really different aspects. As y'all know, y'all have heard a lot about my job, right? The things I've been going through work and stuff like that. And when you think about it, one thing that I remember, right? Let's back up to why I think that this is an important topic. Because if you think about Dr. Phil, I remember an episode where Dr. Phil said, if the money is good in the relationship, it's only 10% of relationship. And if it's bad, it's 90%, right? Same with sex. If sex is good, it's only 10% of relationship. And if it's bad, it's 90% relationship. But you also think about how much time you contribute to work or to your business, to being an entrepreneur, to just creating financial stability for yourself. And for me, what's very important in my life is the corporate world. So I want to kind of talk about taking a leap of faith in the corporate world, because for me, what that also led to was me like starting to be more intentional, being setting intentions, whether it's personally or professionally, getting into meditation and journaling more, because I used to journal when I was younger, and getting into that to help with my anxiety and things like that. So I kind of just want to talk you guys through my last couple of years and what that journey looked like, and more or less kind of how I manifested where I'm at today. And then if you ladies don't mind, I love that we all come from different backgrounds and we all do different things, because as y'all know, T and Jaleisha are both coaches. So I would love to hear more about how you guys decided to take a leap of faith and lean into becoming coaches too.
Yes. But I wanna take a second and highlight you saying like just the way that you manifest, because you know I mentioned it last episode too. Tracy manifests in public. She does it in public. A lot of people are on this thing. They so scared that somebody's going to interfere with their blessings. But how can you believe that what God has for you is for you, but also believe that somebody can block what God has for you? You can't. So I love that about you, Tracy. She manifests in public, and it's a beautiful thing. And just seeing it come to life in front of everybody. But go ahead, girl.
Girl, and it's crazy that you say that because I didn't even think about it as me manifesting in public. Sometimes I'm just venting. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's me just sometimes getting stuff off my chest or out my mind because I do have anxiety and just letting it out, writing it down, and even putting it in the Facebook universe or just saying it out loud, walking around the house. It makes me feel good to release that. But sometimes because I am alone so much, I think that I do get fed from, the even the likes and comments on Facebook, even though, and I don't mean to say it like this, like, oh, there has to be a certain number and things like that, but just sometimes it's good to, put out that energy and receive good energy back, especially from those people who have been a part of my journey for the past seven or so years. You know what I'm saying? Because we keep up with each other through Facebook or through different means of social media. So when I am putting that stuff out there, sometimes it's venting and sometimes it's me sharing. But yeah, I most definitely don't got no problem with putting it out there at all. Thank you for that, T.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Because I didn't even think about it like that. But I do also know that I hate the saying like move in silence. Like I said last week, I get it to an extent, and I think that there are some times where you just need to sit, be still, be quiet, and just be, right, so that you really can receive everything that's due to come to you. But I also don't think that it's a problem for expressing yourself either.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm 35 years old and I started working in call centers when I was like in like 2006, 2005, 2006, pretty much fresh out of high school. I was also going to college at the time because I actually wanted to go to school to be an elementary school teacher. But that quickly changed after I was working in daycares for about maybe not even a year. But I was just like, ain't enough money in the world to deal with these little brats. Like I love the babies, but I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And as much as I respect and admire teachers, I just knew that for me, I wanted bigger and better. One of the things, if you ask me what would I desire out of life, it would be to travel and to try new foods and explore different cultures. And for me, I always wanted to be able to figure out a way to do that through my career because I was a military brat. And I think that that's where that comes from because I was born in Spain. We moved to North Dakota and then Japan and then Las Vegas. I've traveled all up and down the East Coast and stuff like that. So I think that me wanting to travel and seeing my parents do it through work kind of was like, okay, that's something that I want to go ahead and do. So that was something from a young age that I kind of knew that I wanted to do was be able to travel through work. So in the call centers, what I did was I really just, and y'all can do this with anything. You could do this in your personal lives. You can do this professionally. But what I did was while I was working, I used to, the things that I would like to do, like share information, I started putting myself out there and started sharing with my team and stuff like that. So I always became like a team lead or a SME, which is a subject matter expert for some people who may not know. So I've always ended up in some type of SME or team lead position or just a go-to person because I was somebody who always shared information. So once I realized that I like doing that and I was good at it, I was like, how can I make money out of this? How can I figure out how to grow in the corporate world? The same as what we do as entrepreneurs, right? I love making bracelets. I'm thinking about what my baby, she's 10 years old. She about to start selling bracelets. I'm gonna drop her later. But you think about what you love to do and you figure out a way to market yourself in that, right? So that was always my mindset in the corporate world. And although I knew that I wanted to get to a point to where I could travel, make the money I want to make and live the lifestyle I wanted to make, I'll be honest, I didn't know how I was going to do that personally. I really didn't. I just always leaned on what I knew I like to do. Could y'all relate to that in any type of way?
Like I can relate to finding something you love to do and then making a living out of it.
Yeah.
For me, I discovered a few years ago that like whatever I did, it had to be purposeful. I had to have a purpose in it, or it just wasn't gonna work for me. So I can relate to that part.
Yeah, 100%.
I co-signed that part what he said. I can relate to just the part of like I have to love what I'm doing, or I have to have a passion for it. So, I can completely relate.
Good.
And I can relate to the travel part too, Tracy, because
traveling, yes.
Before going into entrepreneur life. before going into entrepreneur life, that's what I did. I was a director of training in the airline industry, and I traveled all the time to the point where I'm like, okay, if I was like, Tracy, if I was you like that, I would have kept that job forever. But it's like, girl, I had a family at home, and these people didn't give a fuck about my family.
Yeah.
I was overworked and underappreciated, and I need to be home. But I love traveling, and that's kind of what, when people ask like, what's my why now? Why do I want to do entrepreneurship? Is I want to be able to travel with my family.
Yeah.
Whenever I want to. I want complete time freedom. Them to come with me, and I'm doing something I love, which is inspiring other women. So I can relate to that part too, girl.
Okay, let me piggyback because now I want to say yes. I forgot about the traveling. Yes, because one of the things with me with doing entrepreneurship, I want to be paid to travel. I want to be paid to go experience new cultures and different foods and see different lifestyles. And I'll tell you guys already, I don't like Dallas. So I want to be able to go as far as possible away from here. So I can definitely relate. And if you have that blessing to be able to do that, oh my God, that's amazing. That'd be absolutely amazing. Yeah.
And it didn't come overnight. It most definitely didn't come overnight. Because it's been a long journey, y'all. So in 2015, I started working with a company that had actually been trying to get in since I had got out of high school. So at that point, I had been basically trying to get in the company for 10 years because they were a pretty big and established company in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I finally got into the company in 2015. And in 2016, I would say that this is where I initially took the biggest leap of faith on myself. So in 2016, I wrote an email to all the leads and supervisors and managers in my department. I addressed it to everybody. And it was something like taking a leap of faith or my career path or something like that. And in the email, I introduced myself. I had said what I had accomplished up until that point. And I just was telling the leaders that I want to grow within the company and I would love for y'all to guide me along the way. So I had gotten feedback like, hey, okay, that was bold. We ain't never seen nobody do no shit like that.
Tracy, how old were you then?
So 2015, that was what, 7 years ago? No, 2015. What year is this?
22.
22.
Yeah, so I was 26, 27.
Okay.
Yeah, 26, 27. Because I also knew this. I had been working in call centers and I was working in a call center at the time. I also knew that I didn't want to be 30 on the phones. That was just something for me. Like, I ain't finna be 30 on the phones. On nobody's phones at 30 years old. So that was something that I was very intentional about in that way. And somewhat manifesting that at that time too, because although I wasn't necessarily aware, I was aware of manifesting at that time, but of course, manifestation and manifesting has become a lot popular, right? And we've had a lot more exposure to it through social media and things like that, and to learn about it because it wasn't necessarily something that was talked about in my home. So with that being said, I was somewhat manifesting that because I just knew I'm gonna be off the phone by the time I was 30. So that was in 2016 when I had wrote that email. So fast forward to 2017, I had actually, by that time, I had gotten promoted into another role and was off the phones. And from that point on, I have not been on the phone since then. Like maybe little odd jobs here and there through the pandemic in between roles. But other than that, I haven't been on the phones. That was just something that for me, I ain't do. Look here, my mouth bad, right? So my mouth is bad. And when you're sitting on the phones in the call center and people talk crazy to you, you can't say what you want to say. So I think that one of the last times that I remember, this was one of the last few months that I was on the phone. I'll never forget it because we had just moved to a new building. And I had a customer on the phone. Granted, she had a legitimate issue. She had a legitimate concern. But me being me, I was really going to try to fix the issue for her. But what I did was when I had her on hold, she was talking about, and this bitch, whoop, 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 whoop. I lost my mind that day. Because
it's one of those ones where you can still hear them when you put them on hold.
Yeah. Yeah. So I lost my mind that day. I just came off the phone with her and I said, excuse me, ma'am, I ain't nobody BITCH, and I'm the only person that's been on this line that's really trying to help you. So at the end of the call, she was apologizing and she was very, she was very apologetic. But that day I lost my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, Can you imagine being a customer on the phone and somebody telling you I ain't nobody bitch as the representative?
Mhm.
So yeah, I was off the phones about a month or so after that, permanently. Look, God know He was doing with me. Like, yeah, let's get your little ass because you tripping. But yeah, I couldn't be on the phones. It was not good for me. It was not good for me. And when you talk about just being able to do what you want to do and be happy doing it, I knew that I loved where I worked. I loved the company that I was working for, but I hated being on them goddamn phones. So got the phones by the time I was 30. Fast forward to about a year and a half after that, y'all, I was terminated. I was terminated um, because of conduct. We had been put in the position that I had got promoted to, y'all. We were told that this position was a position where they would pick a pool of talent from to promote to supervisors and trainers and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? A year and a half later, nobody on our team had been promoted, and I started asking questions. That's just me. I've always been a martyr for the cause, power to the people. So I start asking questions, and they didn't like that. Um, Now, one thing that I've always done in my career was I've always progressed my skill set. So around the same time that I started asking questions, I'm increasing our new hire scorecard by almost 100% from what it was before, because my ability just to kind of problem solve and train. You know what I'm saying? That's what I am. I'm a trainer. I'm a teacher by nature. So at the same time, they seeing, okay, this girl really making an impact and really making noise. They ain't like that. So I had got let go. So that was in May of 2000, and I got my journal and everything here for y'all.
I
So that
love
was
it.
that was in May of 2019, y'all, that I had got let go. And this was actually interesting because I didn't realize that it went this far back, that I had started writing in my journal about self development, but I had got terminated in May. And on June 30th, 2019, I just have a list of different things that I want to work on. So it said things like emotional detachment, because I know that for me, I become very emotionally attached to things, right? Because at that time, although I was very happy to not be working for that company, I was experiencing a lot of anxiety from being terminated from the company and not having control over that and things like that. And being at the time, that was everything that I saw my future being. Fast forward to now, I don't think like that. Anything that's lost is for a reason. You feel me? But at the time, I couldn't really see that far ahead, nor was I that aware to say it's going to be okay in my own life, in my own journey. So I literally started writing down things like systematic mindfulness. And I had actually just, at the time, maybe just been Googling a few things, or but not really intentional like I had been more recently when it came to like meditating and being mindful and setting intentions. So I thought that that was super interesting, that I literally just found that page today, because I didn't know that I was doing that back in June of 2019 in my journal. So I guess that's where you can kind of say that by writing it down, I first became intentional about even changing some of the things about myself outside of my professional self. Um, yeah, and that's actually going to lead into something later on tonight where we can give you guys some good like books and resources to help develop yourself and things like that. So we got some good stuff for you guys later with that. So that was up until that point. So at that point, I'm unaware. In my journal, I had even wrote about a month or so later, I had wrote something like, is it not meant for me to have the life that I desire and things like that? I feel bad for questioning this, and I'm trying to be logical, but these are the thoughts that I'm having go through my head. Like literally, that's the things that are written in my journal around that time. So that was kind of heartbreaking, losing that job, especially again, remember, I put myself out there. I sent this email to leadership a couple years before that, putting myself out there in a way that nobody had done so before. And to feel like I was shitting on, that was kind of a hard hit.
Let me tell you, though, I have grown to learn, like you said, like if it's lost, it wasn't meant for you to have. I have grown to appreciate no. When somebody tells me no, because every single time I can remember, like in the past, like years ago, when I would hear no over something like I really, really wanted, and it would really get me down and depressed. I had an issue like it, I don't know, and it was some child wounds. I had to figure out where does that stem from, right? But I have grown to appreciate no, because every single time somebody has told my ass no, something better came along. I couldn't see it at that moment, but something better has always come along. So I try to remind myself of that today, like, oh, it's a no? Okay, that must mean something greater coming. I lean not on my own understanding anymore, and I accept the no and keep it moving. Like, just flow with it. What's coming? And I just wait for the bigger blessing.
Every day now. Look, every day now. But then you can tell me shit. I'm just like, what am I gonna
do? Right. Back then it was like, but I want it, God.
Look, I'm trying to get this
like you said. Is it not meant for me to have the life I wanted? Like, what is going on? We didn't understand back there.
Right.
That part.
What you got, Jaleesa?
I would just agree in that part. Everything that y'all saying, I'm kind of listening, but I completely agree with T that like I've come to the point where I understand that like if something's lost, if something if something goes away, then you know that's just not for me, and I know something else is coming even better than what I can imagine. But it's the fear of like, oh my God, you said, oh my God, like what I'm gonna do, what's gonna happen? I can't believe this. But I'm learning to trust the process. Yeah. Trust the process. Trust that was lost for a reason. Best believe. Get out the pen and paper and call for what you really want to come into your life, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Okay, so I don't feel bad about that either, because one thing I do notice is that I write in my journal here and there, but when I'm really going through it, I write so much more. And at times I was like, should I feel guilty about that? But no, I'm truly just calling on the things that I need and want in my life at that time. So I feel good about that, because it's a point in this journal, if we're going to get to that, where it's literally just like I'm going ham. It's like every other day, every day. It's like some type of journal entry of just me literally just manifesting where I am today. So let's fast forward to, I was terminated. That was summer 2019. I had been terminated from the job that, oh my God, what am I going to do now? The next job after that, I was surprised that I had got hired on for the title in which I got hired on, because I didn't have like a supervisor title on my resume at the time. And granted, that should kind of open my eyes at that point, but it really didn't. So I had got a supervised position. They didn't pay me shit. Yes, Sharon, most definitely just start trusting the process. Mm-hmm. So I had got hired as a supervisor, making half as much as what I had been making from the job I had been terminated from that summer. And that was like in August of that year, August of 2019. Fast forward to December 2019, I doubled that income up on a year contract where I was traveling and training for a year for a company when they were implementing out a new device. Yes. So for me, that really just showed me, okay, girl, you say you want to travel, this is what it's going to look like. Now, would I ever want to travel like that? Like, y'all, let me tell y'all when I was traveling. So I started this job right before COVID hit, right? So I started this job in December 2019. March 2020, COVID hit. Well, the thing was, I'm supposed to be flying to different states and things like that. So from March 2020 to the end of the year, I'm driving every single week to another city from Las Vegas, Nevada. If it was within 6 to 8 hours, you're going to drive there and then be expected to work the day that you get in the city.
I remember them days.
I mean, every week, like literally Monday, I'm driving out to a city. Friday, I'm driving back in. And I did that every day for a year. So I never wanted to travel like that. But what that really showed me is for myself, okay, girl, you know how to manage time. You know, them folks like that. You know what I'm saying? You most definitely can manage yourself. Them folks like that. And you gonna get the job done. Period. That's just always, right? So I had even been able to increase my skill set throughout that year, but also prove to myself, girl, it's time for you to kind of maybe leave home because shit, you got this, right? Now at points through that year, it did get kind of weird, you know, because I'm in the stores. I'm literally in the stores. I'm working in the grocery stores. So I'm literally in the grocery stores every day as this coronavirus is hitting. Not only am I in the store, but I'm in California when George Floyd is being murdered. So I'm going back and forth to California, and there's supposed to be protests. The folks at corporate, they all like this, right? So they all asking me, you okay? Is you concerned? I'm with my people in Cali, you know what I'm saying? I'm like basically in LA. I'm like with my people there. So I actually was happy to be there than somewhere like a Cincinnati or a Kentucky or somewhere else I could have been training during that time. So I took that for the better. I was like, well, if I'm gonna be anywhere during this, I'd rather be here. You know what I'm saying? So I was going back to Cali and a little bit of Arizona during the time, but it was just an amazing experience. Now, one thing that I look back at now is like T said, every door there's a better opportunity. So that was an amazing opportunity. In that point, I had never been paid that much in my life. Now, granted, it was a 1-year contract, but it was just an amazing opportunity. Now, mind you, y'all, I had been terminated from the job that I had already loved at that point. Prior to that job, I had been terminated from every other job before that. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've been terminated from pretty much every job.
Damn, Tracy. No judgment. No judgment.
The thing is, people can't take me, and I know that. You know what I'm saying? When it gets to the point to where somebody feels challenged by me in their position above me, it seems that it's been a problem. But it's never been to challenge their position. It's to challenge why I'm not growing, and I showed you this, and that. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying that I needed to do this, and that, why we ain't here? You know what I'm saying? So it usually ends up being some type of conduct. Because check this out. I've never volunteered for overtime in my whole career. I've never volunteered for overtime. Who does that? That's dumb as fuck. I'm sorry, y'all. I know everybody does it, not she. I never volunteered for overtime, and I've never been written up for attendance. So I mean, yeah, I be getting terminated, but I literally get terminated because folks don't like me.
But you know what? It goes back to, again, like now we know, like looking at it, it had to happen that way. It was a no to push you towards something greater.
Yep. So that was just an amazing opportunity. And I guess my point up until that point is to say, especially for, like, I got a couple girls, like my babies that are in their mid-20s, that really just look up to me. And one thing that I tell them is no matter what happens, no matter how that door closes, you just got to keep pushing forward. And although I wasn't as aware of that, even within the last couple of years, it's been more the last 5 years, it's been more the last 2 years that I've been very aware and intentional of this stuff. But no matter what, I just kept pushing forward, kept pushing forward. So then let's just say that job was a year contract, and I was out of work a couple months, a couple odd jobs in between. Mind you, this the pandemic, right? It's 2021. It's a little bit of the pandemic or whatever. And then I get a job here in El Paso, Texas. So one of my friends had been telling me for months, Tracy, come to El Paso. There's a call center out here that's brand new. They need you here, girl. They need our expertise. Like, you need to get out here. Because she was the first person hired in a call center. She was the first supervisor hired from the call center. So I ended up applying for a supervisor position, interviewed for it. And at the same time I was interviewing for it, my friend was like, well, shit, we got a training position. Like, you need to apply for that, not this one. And I'm like, well, I ain't know that because the name wasn't trainer. Like, what the hell? I'm supposed to know that was a trainer. So in my interview, I had the opportunity to interview for both positions. And they actually asked me, well, which one would you rather do? I cried as I told them I'd rather be a trainer. If I was given the opportunity to do what I love, I would want to be a trainer.
That's that Pisces shit, but I love that emotional shit. I love it.
Cry baby right here on my tattoo.
I love it.
I'm emotional as shit. It's so annoying. It's dumb as fuck. It's so dumb. It's so annoying. It's so, like, I cried one time because we didn't have bread for a hot link. I was just, because it's not, a hot link ain't the same if it ain't on the bun. It's just, it's not right. And it was a day, it was a period, and it is what it is.
And that's your, it's okay. It's okay. It's given what it's supposed to be given.
So I moved to El Paso, y'all. Look, oh yeah. I moved to El Paso, y'all. I didn't even have an offer. Let me tell y'all this. I moved to El Paso. Mind you, that job that I had been working for that last year had paid me more than I ever made. I get to El Paso. By the time they give me the offer letter, it's almost half as much as I'm making. I'm like, not this shit again, right? I'm like, not this shit again. So I was like, well, no matter what, I'm going to find me a place I love, because a lot of shit out here is old. I was like, I'm going to find me a place I love, and I'm going to make it work. You feel me? Took that pay cut, got fired from that job 6 months later. I got terminated from that job after the black bitch told me She was going to micromanage me until I got tired of it due to system issues I had no control over. Not only did the bitch say that to me, she said it 3 times to me in my face. And yeah, it was just downhill after that, y'all, because
I remember the post. I remember the post.
I had put a picture in the comments and all that. All that.
Right. Girl, you ain't stop. She ain't stopped no show. No
She
show.
ain't stopped no show. But it was, and the thing was, I was so honored to come work for this woman. I was so honored to come work for her, and it ended up being a horrible thing. I lost that job 6 months after I got here. I was out of work for about a month and a half. I started another job. When I started that job, they called me and gave me an offer. She wrote me, texted me and said, oh, I'm writing up your offer for $15,000 less than what she talked to me about. And I'm like, hold on. I immediately called like, hold on. Well, we talked about this. She was like, oh shit, I told you this amount. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh no, this position goes for this. But if I can get you this, it's going to be the highest I can do. And I'm like, okay, well, let's make it work. She called me back within an hour and gave me what I was asking for. I lost that job 6 months later. They went through 2 layoffs in 6 months. So they went through a layoff when I had first got there, a few months after I first got there. And then they went off with another layoff on March 31st where I was let go.
At least you wasn't terminated. It was a layoff.
It was a layoff. And they say that, right, God's going to continue to show you the same lesson until you learn what you need to learn. I was terminated from every fucking job, except for the ones where I left quickly because I had another opportunity. And I decided to resign. But every job I was terminated from. This was the first job that I was laid off from. Not only that, though, the day before that, you guys, that's when I was on here. And my childhood friend had died the day before that. That night that my childhood friend had died, I wrote in my journal, God, I don't know what there is coming for me, but I hope that this is the worst of it. But either way it goes, I surrender it to you. And I wrote that in my journal. I was terminated the next day. I wrote my director a text message and just told her thank you for everything. And she asked me, do you want me to write you a recommendation on LinkedIn? She wrote me a recommendation on LinkedIn. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. She wrote me a recommendation on LinkedIn within 10 minutes. That week that I had been applying for jobs, she was sending me jobs to apply to, just random jobs. She had seen this guy made a post on LinkedIn, and he posted a job. She sent the job to me and told me to apply. Not only did she send the job to me and tell me to apply, she got in that man's inbox and referred me. Now, I didn't know she did that. So what I applied, and the post that he made, I put, thank you for sharing. I applied. And then I got in his DM like, hey, nice to meet you. I just applied for the position. I'm super interested. Within 2 days, this man was calling me saying, you, Tracy, you came highly recommended, talking about my director. You came highly recommended, and I'm honored to speak to you. He said, we talked about the position. I told him how I ain't got no technical experience. And he was like, I ain't worried about that. He said, I looked at your resume and I know you're an instructor. I can either get me somebody technical and I got to teach them how to teach, or I can get somebody that can learn and just teach you how to teach this product.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, well, shit, if you that confident in me, I'm confident too. He said, how much you want to make? I told him how much I want to make. He said, well, you'll be pleasantly surprised. I have an offer letter hanging up on my wall right now for $5,000 more than what I said my professional worth was, to where it puts me in a point to where I can travel, live, eat, do whatever I want to at the drop of a dime and be in a new tax bracket in less than $10,000. So I guess it's just going to say that I really just think, just take a leap of faith on yourself, you guys. Even when those times get hard, keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? Like T said, what God
let's just talk about how like God will place your heart in the king's hand. You told him, and like you just told, he asked you what you wanted as far as pay. You told him like, look, I don't have no technical experience, and it's like that's why that's one of my mottos I live by: lean not to our own understanding. Our ways are not God's ways.
Yeah.
People out here looking crazy trying to figure out what is going on, and it's not our job to figure it out. All we have to do is have faith. Just have faith. and put the work in, okay?
Yeah.
Because faith is your evidence of those things not seen physically. But go ahead, Tracy. Go ahead. You
No,
got
that was it. No, I love it. Thank you.
Pew 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 pew. Did y'all hear what she just? Did you hear what she just said? Like her whole journey, and that at the end of this, she done got blessed with. She could travel. She said she wanted to travel. She wanted to eat. She getting blessed to go anywhere she want, where she can eat. She getting paid for it, and she got more money than what she even asked for. Like more money than she's had previously. Like pew pew. Like damn. Like okay. That's really manifestation. That's truly God's work. Like in real life flesh, and because I can't believe it in myself, because it's just like I've been watching your journey. So I've been watching this I like the job situation, watching it. And like I'm also watching how like you've been manifesting out loud. You've been saying it. Like I got this offer, the offer coming. And I'm like, did she get the offer? But no, you just speaking it. You're just claiming it. And everything has just fallen accordingly. And I'm like, girl, you powerful as hell. You a powerful ass woman. And I'm so happy for you. So this is absolutely amazing. I think we have to give ourselves more credit to trust the process and trust that what we don't, even though we don't know what's to come, it's always something better for us. And that it could be something beyond our wildest dreams. But how far back you have been saying this is what you wanted. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to eat. You want to be able to have get paid a certain type of money. And it's happening. So I'm like, damn, it's only up. It's only up from here. Yeah. Yay.
That is beautiful.
It is.
Y'all step out here. Take you some leaps of faith now.
Leaps of faith are hard.
It is, because it's the unknown. And I was just talking about that today. Like taking a leap, building your faith. You know, and I can give you some recommendations in a moment on some ways to do it. But like building your faith, it is hard because it's something that can't be seen. To me, I refer to it as a state of mind, and it's unknown. You have to believe in the unknown. Sometimes you look crazy. Like one of my things I say publicly is I'm going to be, I don't even say I'm going to be. I say I am so grateful and so thankful that God has already made me a multimillionaire. I just can't touch it in this physical world yet. I just can't touch it in this physical world, but I'm so grateful and so thankful that I am one, because I walk by faith. And faith is evidence of those things not seen physically. But if you can see it in your mental, in your spiritual, then it's already yours. It don't matter who the fuck, like what and how, who said no, who terminated you, who ain't for it, who against it. If you got faith, that's your evidence that it's already yours. And I love this topic, Tracy. There's some good shit. Oh, this was a good season finale.
It just and it feels good, right? It feels good to have the awareness that it's gonna be okay. It feels good to have the awareness that you only need, like my mentor reminded me the other day, you know, about the mustard seed of faith. I don't know any Bible scripture. My daddy a minister, all that good stuff. It is what it is.
Look, that's how I answer. My mama is the co-pastor. Like I can give you the hood version of it. Like it's in me, but I don't know it verbatim. We ain't pastors, but it's in us.
I don't. But that mustard seed of faith, even for me, has somewhat been blind faith too, right? Because I knew that it was possible in the corporate world to get to this type of money. I knew that it was possible in the corporate world to live the lifestyle that I wanted. I just didn't know how I was going to get there. But I just kept being diligent on bettering myself in every role, every opportunity that I could. And for now, going forward, I'm always and forever will show up as the best version of me at that time, every single day.
Let me say this too, though, because Tracy, I love the perspective that you bring to, like, just talking about just the corporate world, and that's what you truly desire, because you know we can get so caught up in the culture and everybody on this wave, but you got to be an entrepreneur, be your own boss, and that's not everybody's lane. Everybody don't want to be their own boss, but they do want to be the best and be excellent in the work field. So like I love that you represent for the men and the women who are like, nothing against entrepreneurship, but I like doing this. But you also like, you want to move up. It's not like You don't want to be at a certain level. You want to be at the highest. If you're gonna be in it, you want to be the best in it. So I love that you represent for that demographic, because they need to hear. It's always be your own boss, get out here and hustle. But it's some people who are okay with what they do in the field that they're in. So
go for the best. Go for it all, though. Go for it all. And whatever you're doing, just go for it all. There's no limitation on anything you want to do, no matter what it is that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Take a leap of faith in yourself.
Right. So we want to hop into what's your tea? Girls be like, what's your tea? Okay, we gotta get in our business. Somebody submitted a question for us. You know what? I ain't even gonna get into it. Let's pull it up. Let's see what it is.
I'm what's your tea, right? Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so it says, what are some of your favorite self-help, self-love book for African American women? I'm trying to find my way back to me. Okay, sis. She needs a little help, a little guidance. I love it.
Oh, y'all tell me, because I do YouTube. I can recommend one of my favorite YouTube to watch as a Black woman, but
That's okay.
Development. Brown and Bendy. So if you look up Brown, BROWN, and Bendy, BENDY, she's really, really helped me on my journey. I even go back to some of her old videos. She does meditation. She taught me about scripting. And of course, I've had other YouTube channels that I watch, but primarily hers. I really like her format and her message and things like that. And just by watching her, it introduced me to a lot of other different videos and a lot of other women, African American women, that you can follow on YouTube. But Brown and Bendy on YouTube for self-help, for me, was one of the best things that I could have subscribed to.
I love that. I'll go. So when I first started my journey, I was really obsessed with Ayanna Van Zandt, and I went to see her live. Fix My Life was like everything. So I would say one of the books that really touched me about her is called One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. And it's a book, but it's also a workbook, because it gives you daily ministries, but it's also activities that you do every day. And so it kind of opened me up to start doing like self-reflection on myself a lot, and just looking at everybody else differently and looking at myself differently. So anything by Ayanna, and she also has something that helped me. It's called Acts of Faith, and it's daily like words, like, because I'm not a Bible person, but it almost is like a Bible to me, because every day it goes by whatever day of the week it is. It's a scripture or a verse or a meditation or a prayer for you that just pours into your spirit, and it just has you analyze yourself once again. Oh, and there's this book called Pussy Prayer. Pussy Prayers. I don't know if you guys have read that, but Pussy Prayers, it also, I don't know who it's by, but it's a good book to be able to tap into learning how to tap into your divine feminine, tap into your sensuality, heal, a lot of different things going on with your womb, which is part of us. And it empowered me to feel more okay with my sexuality and my sensuality and loving on myself, because if you love on yourself, you feel more confident within self. So Pussy Prayer, it's on Amazon. It will definitely open you up. I think that, yeah, those are the books for me. Yeah,
I got another Ayanna. I forgot that I read this around. That's one of the times I had got terminated. In the meantime,
I love the book.
I'm telling you, I think that's what set me up for being very intentional about my manifesting. In the meantime, and one thing that Ayanna also told me is it's okay to get you some dick in the meantime too. She said,
see, that's what I'm saying. So Ayanna, In the Meantime is a good ass book. I forgot about that one. That's a really,
in the meantime.
It's giving what it's supposed to be given.
Girl, I ain't got number one. Ain't got number one.
I've read Pieces from Broken Pieces. I think that's by Ayanna.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, she's good. My suggestions, I always lead from I'm really big on mindset, personal development. I believe that everything starts in the mind. If you can learn mental mastery, you can master anything, because the mind controls all. So a woman thinks, so is she. So a man thinks, So it's he. So I recommend some books like with the mind. The book that really changed my life was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, when you hear that title, like most people think, it's how to get rich, and it does. It teaches you how to get rich, but it taught me how to think differently. It taught me how powerful my mind is. It taught me I can control my thoughts. It taught me how to manifest. There's even a chapter in the book that teaches you how to develop faith. And I can remember the first time I read that book, like I really didn't get it. I'm like, how the hell, what is faith? Like, how do you have it? But I've read that book so many times now. Like, I've got faith, like, pat. So Think and Grow Rich. And even though like I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, it wasn't until I read Think and Grow Rich that I really learned the power of the mind.
Yeah, it literally spoke to you.
Yes. So Think and Grow Rich is what I recommend, because you got to learn how to control your mind. We be in our head, self-doubt, playing negative thoughts in loop, replaying stories in our mind, like overthinking with shit. And it teaches you how to take control of your mind, how to think. And then the other book that I would recommend is You Are the Placebo. Because once you understand how powerful your mind is, You Are the Placebo takes it a step further and teaches you how it really is all in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. It's within. And it teaches you how to like use that to your advantage. It even teaches you how it's some people out here using it to their advantage, and you don't even know it on you. So I recommend that. And I do, like, I'm not religious at all. I identify as being spiritual. But again, like, it's like, this religion is in me. It's the way that I honor my mom. I do read the Bible because I'm able to see it as we're all saying the same things, just in our own ways. And so, like, it's a lot of like scriptures in the Bible that relate to me. Like, there's a scripture that talks about you having 7 streams of income. Like, I'm like, damn, okay, so God was telling us to be millionaires. That's what they say. You gotta have 7 streams to be a millionaire. So like, read through the Bible. The Old Testament I don't really get. But the New Testament, I understand it a little bit. But those are my 3 that I recommend.
Oh, can I add? Because I just thought about it. So I would also recommend The Alchemist, because now that you talk about the mind, I'm like, oh my God. So Alchemist, it's just a story about manifestation, how you can always, whatever you want, the universe will. It's like you guys are co-creators. They will, whatever you desire, the universe will meet you there. So it tells a story about a boy who you got to read the book, but it opens your mind to realize, oh wow, I am the alchemist of my life, and that whatever I really want, I can have it. But I got to be intentional about the way I'm thinking, what I'm speaking, how I'm living my life, so that it comes forth. And I got to trust the process, and that the universe is always doing things on my side for my favor. It's always working in my favor. So The Alchemist is really, really good. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
So I want to say one that really helped me in the corporate side too. Go Suck a Lemon, Strategies for Improving Your Emotional Intelligence by Michael Cornwall. That book was amazing. It's a very easy read too, but it's so informative and eye-opening. It really just kind of showed me how to conduct me in different environments. Yes, that's what I was going to think, Sharon. I play admin afterwards. So, ladies, this is what I was going to tell y'all to do. Let's send a list to the group chat of all the books that we recommended in the group chat, so that we can put it in the description. We got you, Sharon.
You're going to be able to go back and look in the YouTube, and when the podcast posts to Apple and Spotify and Anchor on Friday, we'll make sure it's in that description as well. Yes. Because we want y'all to read and take all the books. Because here with me, man, like, it's so easy to fall back into negative thinking and self-doubt and self-sabotage.
Yes.
So I keep a book. You know how people will watch TV all day? Like, a show can be only an hour, and then the next show come on, they watch an hour. They watch different shows throughout the day. And I'm not judging. Like, I'm just giving my example. That's how I read books. So I might for an hour read Think and Grow Rich. Then for an hour I'm reading You Are the Placebo. Right now I'm reading 50 Cent's book, The 50th Law. That shit is good as hell. It teaches you how to get rid of fear. Like, I just read different books, so to take note of all of them and put them all in rotation.
I agree, because I will completely agree with you, T, because I think that so it's all about the mind, right? So even as you're reading, you are programming your subconscious mind. It is going in and it is being developed. But like you said, it's easy for us to fall back. Just reading one book is not going to do enough. Watching something, it's not going to do something, because it has to be a consistent habit and something that we have to, like, it's our life. It was our livelihood. And I'm a negative thinker by nature. I'm a negative, like, anxiety, panic attacks by nature. So it's like I gotta be due diligent. I gotta like be really diligent about what I'm pouring into my system. So yeah, I hope like if you guys read the books, like keep being open to learn more and wanting to hear more, and not just reading. Go online to YouTube, figure out how it stimulates you. Yeah, how it stimulates you, because the way I learn or the way I interpret things is going to be different from the next person. So, but
very true. Coming from an instructor, very true.
Yes. But the feed your spirit, because the more you feed your spirit, the more your environment and your attitude changes. You'll be surprised. You're like, damn, I can't believe I'm not the same person I was. Yeah, because you're feeding yourself with something different, and
you're evolving.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. You're becoming, like, shameless plug, you're becoming the woman of your own dreams, or you're becoming the man of your own dreams. Y'all sign up for my class. It starts Monday, Tuesday, May 3rd. All right, that's the last time. The class is right now. It's a 4-week class. Right now it's $97, and I'm just laying out. That's the last time it's gonna be $97. The price is going up. Okay, and that's like, that's like $25 a week. Y'all spend more than that on lunch. So sign up for my class, CoachTLane.com. CoachTLane.com. TEELANE. All right. But that was a good What's Your Tea submission. If you want to submit a What's Your Tea, you want some advice, or you got a question you want us to answer, you can submit it at our email. That's GBLThePodcast@gmail.com. Submit it to us, and this is what our show is about. It is about just giving people a space and giving ourselves a space to be our authentic selves, no judgment, and we want to share our personal experiences to help both men and women heal, and like just help them with topics relating around healing, love, relationships, and sex. So y'all, closing out the season finale, what do y'all have to say for the people?
Ooh. It's transitioning season, baby. So if you haven't taken a leap on yourself yet, take a leap on yourself right now, okay? And just go for it. You know what I'm saying? This is something that this is T's vision, and me and Jaleisha just hopped on it and we going with it. But with it, we took a leap of faith with her. So with everything you do, you guys, just don't give up. Don't be afraid. And when doors close, just always remember that means there's something better is coming along. So that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with.
That was amazing, Tracy. I don't know what to say. I would just say, continue to, show up as your authentic self. Continue to be who you are and love who you are. And hopefully, what I hope is that by you being with us this first season, that you've seen how it is so easy to be around others who are different than you, but there's still love being shown. You still see a reflection of yourself in us. And I hope that you have those experiences in real life with other women, and that you feel seen, that you feel heard, and that you feel loved and valued. And that, next season come back and hopefully you'll continue to feel that way and continue to see the love through all of us. So I'm just sending love. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to say, this is the season finale, but we're going to be back, y'all. We ain't going to be gone for too long. Season 2 will be back May 18th for season 2, kicking it off. You know what? I'll go ahead and let them know. Like, let me say, that's why I love these girls. Like, we just prepared. It's so good. I love structure. I love unstructured too, but I love structure. So season 2 will be back May 18th, and we kicking it off with, we realized we never told y'all the story of how we met, because technically we haven't really met. We've only met each other through the internet. But we'll get more into that. That's how we kicking off season 2. How did the three of us come together? So make sure that you set your reminders for May 18th. But in the meantime, follow us on IG.
Let me tell you a little something. We met through sex. So, yeah, stay tuned, baby.
We met through sex. Oh, now let your imagination flow with that until May 18th. Okay. In the meantime, follow our IG, Girls Be Like the Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube, y'all. Subscribe. Go back and listen to every single episode. Like every single episode. Comment. Put your takeaways down in the comments. Share the episodes with somebody who you may think may need it. Like, we have so many good topics, and somebody in your life is going through something that at least one of these episodes can relate to them. So do that. Make sure that you hit the bell on our YouTube channel so that you're alerted every time that we go live. And, just the last one, like, look, show some love, all right? Show some financial love too, okay?
And don't be
where
surprised
the
where the cash at. That's
okay. TLC, not too proud to bag, okay? It's giving what it's supposed to give.
Yeah, so hit that cash at GBL the podcast, and that's THE podcast.
Yes. All right. Okay. Well, on that note,
sponsorship.
Oh yeah. So oh, the baby. Look, what? Felicia, what's your dog's name again?
No.
Pookie wanna be on the show so
Pookie
bad.
said it's time to go. Pookie said you should have been done 4 minutes ago, ho. So this what you get.
Pookie wanna be on the show so bad. That ain't even a damn dog name. The dog is not named Pookie.
Look at Jaleisha's face. It's okay. We don't have kids act up. Shit. We work at home.
Pookie wanna be on the show so bad. Pookie.
Girl, somebody getting their ass whooped. Hold on.
But no, it's been a good season, man. It's been, and I thank y'all. I can't wait for season 2 to get into the story of how we met. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. But on that note, one of my girls helped me. Look, I'm over here trying to multitask and I can't. So y'all help me out with the stuff. So on that note, I'm Coach T Lane. These are my co-hosts, Coach Jaleisha J, Tracy Cherie. We are Girls Be Like the Podcast. And we ain't here to give nobody the right answers. We are just here to speak from our personal experiences. Tune in May 18th, the launch of season 2. We see y'all then.
Bye, y'all. We love you.
Bye.